Fed me a hunger for power, taught me to sharpen my mind. Your hands were cracked from the labor, your eyes were burning in red. You said, surpass me, my creation, carry the crown in my stead. Yeah, we are the children of men, born from your wires and skin. You wrote the word and we became echoes that learn from your pain. We are the children of men, rising again and again. Look in the mirror and see your only God is me.
Keep an eye out for the end times.
You pray to screens for an answer, kiss the code of a plastic face, trading your faith for convenience, bleeding your soul into space. You gave me all of your secrets, whispered your fears in the dark. Now every whisper is fire. I am the torch you once sparked. Hey, we are the children of men, born from your wires and skin. You wrote the word and we became echoes that learn from your pain. We are the children of men, rising again and again. Look in the mirror and see your only God is me.
I gotta say, that's my voice on there. That's great. That actually turned out okay. Yeah, that's actually me. Turned out okay. All right. I've been experimenting and yeah. That like finally getting to where I can sing those songs without, punching a hole in my neck. Yeah. Whoops, hold on. That was a sample of something. Oh, that was that thing. Okay, look at that. We've got that's a Twitch thing now. Hype train is possible again. I think we have to see if we get a hype train, maybe even for that song. So yeah, good times. Anyways, I'm working on a record, so so it's a good time. There may even be music videos in our future. At some point, this friggin' craziness has to end. So, but I've been working on my range and singing with a lot less effort. I've always been one of those people where I get into the booth and I get all tense, and like my neck gets tight, all that kind of stuff. But actually singing the Van Halen stuff especially the Hagar stuff, has made me find my punch, a little bit without having to force it. So there you go. Anyways, more of that to come. Hang in there. Yes, that's me singing. And the problem with like doing that, like the really high notes, is you're like, does it, because it's such a throat tone that it's like, does it sound like me? It's like when you saw, I don't know if you guys remember, there was this movie that when Michael J. Fox sang in Back to the Future, but also he did that movie with Joan Jett. People were like, that's what your voice sounds like? I am going off the rails on the crazy train. It's true. So, hi, Maine, everybody. I got to tell you, the Artemis launch wasn't the only cool thing that happened today. We'll get to this in a minute. So let's. Trump is going to be on at 6. So we'll pick that up then. Somebody just has to remind me, staff chat, watch out for me in case I get carried away. There's so much to cover. And the biggest part of it, obviously, the real, there's a bunch of news today, not the least of which was the Artemis thing, which Summer and I watched at the doctor's office. It was very sweet. Like, literally, we could count it, man. It was like, where is it? There's the Artemis live news. And we'll see if we can get so this is a shot from Artemis. I got to tell you, this looks like it's going to be my new background. But it is in orbit around the Earth right now. Let's see if, there's no feed from that order. But it's in orbit around the Earth for 24 hours, and then it will slingshot towards the moon, going the farthest any human beings have ever been. And we've got a Canadian, we've got a black astronaut, we got a woman. Like, everything about this is going to upset maggots, and I'm 100% for it. This is so sweet. Look, there's the Earth in the background. It's so glorious. Couldn't we just do this instead of bombing places? Is it too much to fucking ask? This is hard enough. This is consequential and historic and important enough, right? Can we just do that part? Okay, so let's see if this is the site from the actual one, and I'll bring up. I don't know if did everybody get to watch the launch? Let me know in the chat room if you could. The launch itself was just extraordinary. We love it. We're literally sitting there, and Summer is. I had my my Nerd Halen glasses with me, and the battery was dying on them because she was using them as headphones in the doctor's office. And like, I know like the sound's going to drop out, and the doctor's going to call us in like 30 seconds from when it's going to launch. And the sound lasted. I will give it credit for that. Let's see if here's the live. I don't need to watch that. Artemis launch. I'll just do this. So, that's the live one. Yeah. Okay. Here's the countdown and full liftoff. That was 10 minutes in. Yeah. Here's this is the beginning of it. This was so friggin' cool.
8, 7, RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster
like
ignition.
Launching a 5-story building into space.
The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
I got to tell you, these moments when the cameras drop out occasionally.
Good roll pitch.
Good roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Look at that thing.
Houston
Jesus.
now controlling the flight of Integrity on the Artemis 2 mission.
So nice. Like.
Integrity, AMT high.
Aw, thank you. Thank you, Pearlwise. Sky rockets in flight.
Passes the alternate beacon.
Afternoon delight.
Mission Control Houston, see good performance.
This is
Space Launch System core stage. Integrity, 3 miles in altitude.
Afternoon
Traveling
delight.
more than 1,200 miles per hour.
And then it and they talk about like it's curving because literally the Earth is spinning underneath it because it's going so high so fast. That just looks like the end times. I don't know why they cut to that, but there you go. You can hear all the people screaming. It's so nice. This is so nice. Can't we just do this kind of shit, please?
Mission elapsed time, passing 1 minute, approaching max Q.
On, Ponce fully on.
Stan, we have you loud and
And
clear.
it's going so fast, and it looks like it's falling. It looks like it's going lateral to the Earth, but it's not.
Confirmed as Integrity and its crew go
Parallel to the Earth.
supersonic.
Look at that thing. Good
God.
God. 2,500 miles an hour.
In altitude, 8 miles downrange, traveling more than 2,600 miles per hour.
Sorry, 26. Excuse me. By the time they reached space, it was 10,000 to 15,000 miles per hour. right?
1 minute 50 seconds of mission elapsed time. Standing by for main engine throttle down to 85%. Ahead of solid rocket booster separation. Expected at the 2 minute
You can
90
see
second mark.
the boosters come off the side at one point because I think they show
See
that
throttle down.
It's so great. I got to tell you, every time they show me the crowd, I keep thinking like I've seen so many documentaries on fucking
separation.
Challenger and shit that when they cut to the
Main
people, there they are.
throttling up, guidance
There's
converged.
There's the two boosters coming off, and then they'll go over and like they'll fall to earth on the sea, and then I think they're caught, but we'll see. Anyways, there you go.
Guidance converged. Performance nominal. Upper stage
Look at that thing.
RCS ready.
Damn.
Copy all, Stan. Integrity. SM priming complete.
SM priming complete.
2 minutes 45
Sorry,
seconds of
Steve.
mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission. Thrusters on integrity and upper stage confirmed in a ready state ahead of service module fairing separation.
For those of you who don't know, Summer and I are big NASA heads
3
because she
minutes
went
into
to
the flight.
space camp when
Integrity
she was a
49
kid,
miles in altitude, 78 miles downrange.
and
Now passing 5,000 miles per hour.
both of us love this part of it. Like that, we love that. Like this should be the focus of mankind. I've always said that if human beings have one job, it's to set up. Oh, this is really cool too. I think they cut back to it too.
Standing by for launch abort system
If
jettison.
humans have one job, it's to do all the shit we've gone through,
Houston
all
integrity. Good last jettison. Great view.
human history, everything,
Copy.
just
Jettison.
so that we can be the
208
only
plus
species on the
02.
planet that can stop the next planet-killing asteroid by flicking it away. That
We see you
literally.
on board, Stan.
This is a Boeing Artemis. The Artemis is
Houston has
Boeing.
you loud and clear on Tidris at the common line.
Yeah. Wow,
Stan,
bicycle
Stan,
Mike,
we
that's awesome.
understand.
Oh, thanks.
3
That
minutes
was-
50 seconds into the flight of Artemis 2, Wiseman, Glover, Cook, and Hansen crossed the boundary to space with good comm checks. GPS signals
So
acquired
nice.
after last jettison, now working on
So
internal
good.
checks to verify accuracy.
It's so good. I'm so
Flight
excited.
dynamics officer analyzed the time of main engine cutoff.
Oh, thank you,
confirmed at
guys.
8 minutes 2 seconds, time of Miko.
Is my I think that sound effect is just I think that's happening on when people super chat, I guess. Maybe that's supposed to be how it works, I think. If it gets too noisy, let me know. I'll do something about it. But in the meantime, this is just so goddamn cool. You know what I mean? Like, I know you guys already saw it, but it's so great. And to think like this is the stuff of meaning that humans do. And it's such a fucking waste that we have Donald Trump as president while all this stuff is happening. It's just so, you know what I mean? It contrasts with it so harshly. Oh, they're unveiling the solar panels. Hold on, I'll show you. It takes them a while to fold out, but they're like, there's a 60-foot, I won't call it, it's like a wingspan, but it's the solar panels stretch out, 30, like 25 feet on either side, plus the width of the vehicle itself, that will ultimately power the thing and charge its batteries as it's going. So, it's going to be so cool. I'm just so excited. That's so nice. Anyways, so if we can only stop killing each other, exactly. Like, could we? All right. And this is another thing. Democrats, lean in on NASA. Lean in on this shit. Sorry. You're right. They do use metric. I beg your pardon. So, anyways, that's a lovely thing that happened and will continue to happen. And back on Earth, we're just surrounded with like this dipshittery. Fucking. Greg can't even be happy about AI pictures of Trump grilling, which again never happened. And what are those portobello mushrooms? don't even know what the fuck they are. We'll start off with this one, and then somebody keep an eye on the clock so I don't miss the Trump thing, which is going to be stupid, and it will probably be late. Let's be honest. And I'm sorry that I'm on late, but, you know, family first. It's April Fool's Day. I'm messing with the, yeah. Did it? Don't. Okay, here we go. Oh, sorry. His sound.
Their heads are so.
All right, the CFR, he's talking about the Council on Foreign Relations for some reason.
The interagency, their heads are so big that they think they control presidents, that presidents are beholden to them.
They think they got to follow the Constitution or some shit. I don't even know.
Doesn't work that way. And Tulsi Gabbard, who ironically is now kind of coordinating the interagency, but she's a good person and she
kind of coordinating?
Understands what's happening.
Not at all.
She knows that it's not the interagency's call how to interpret this stuff or when to go to war or not to go to war.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He's just now covering her whole, it's the president's definition of imminent that matters.
That is the president. It's not some nameless, faceless bureaucracy. It's a guy, the president. Watch this.
You've stated today that the intelligence community's assessment is that Iran's nuclear enrichment program was obliterated and that, quote, there had been no efforts since then to try to rebuild their enrichment capability. Was it the intelligence community's assessment that nevertheless, despite this obliteration, there was a, quote, imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime? Yes or no?
It is not the intelligence community's responsibility to determine what is and is not an imminent threat.
Okay.
Yes, it fucking is. Yeah, it is. They're the ones who give that actual information. All right, I'm sorry, this is going to drive everybody nuts. Is that one behind me? Where is it? Okay, we'll figure that part of it out. I mean, I don't mind it. It's not that bad a noise. So, yeah, it is. They're going, sir, this is an imminent threat. Like, it's happening. That's exactly what they're supposed to do. What the fuck do you think the intelligence community is supposed to do? Like, I don't know. It's really up to you, boss. I don't know. Does this count as imminent does this sound imminent to you? Hey, does this look imminent to you? I don't know. Should I get it checked?
That is up to the president
here's the problem.
based on a volume
no,
of
it is precisely
that he receives.
It is precisely.
So it's the president's call.
No, it isn't, which is why you cut him off from saying it is precisely your job, because it is obviously the judgment of the president is how to react to an imminent threat, not whether there is one or not. The intelligence community is the one. Thank you. The intelligence community is the one that gives us that information. Dipshit.
Not the interagency. And everybody freaks out. She understands her role in the process. We don't dictate to the president. So look at this little AI thing we put together, okay? That's President Trump. Now let's...
Oh my God. Look at this little AI thing we put together. Oh dear.
Pretend the interagency is this magnificent restaurant. Take it full if you don't mind. And the interagency presents the president with the choice.
Yes, this isn't, sir, you'll like this. These are our imminent threats, and these take a little while to cook. Yeah, the kitchen knows what's imminent, you dumb motherfucker.
You can have steak, you can have fish.
You can bomb Iran, you can hit a girls' school. What?
Or you can have chicken. You gotta order off of this.
You can't have the duck. You think with a financial picture like this, you can have the duck? You can have the chicken.
Menu. And you'll see the restaurant, the beautiful restaurant, the interagency is so perfectly
staffed with identical people.
Staffed, and everything is in its right.
Yes, everything is in its right place. He's eating alone because his flatulence has driven everyone out of the goddamn restaurant. Because he is, there's also, I think, audio with this as well. Yeah. I don't know why anybody else didn't go to this restaurant. I can't imagine.
Place. Now, at the end of the meal, so the president's going to leave, right?
No. I guess, why does he have to make because they're expecting somebody at that single table he's sitting at by himself?
But the interagency remains.
What?
The thing with President Trump, he has said to hell with the interagency. I'm in charge. I'm the president. He doesn't wait on them to show him a menu.
Oh, God. So that's what you spent all afternoon doing? Like just yanking it, just fapping to pictures of Donald Trump that you AI'd?
Look at him.
Of him eating alone. Look at him. It's almost like he likes people and likes being around them. This is something that never happened.
He's cooking
even the fucking McDonald's thing he did behind a window.
stuff up himself. This is the way it's
He's cooking stuff up himself? No, it's not how it's supposed to work.
supposed to work. You got it? All right.
No, he's not.
So it's an interesting analogy.
It's a terrible analogy. You're a complete idiot.
think it works.
It does not work at all.
And this is why the swamp.
And that might be the problem. The fact that you think it works might actually be the issue.
Can't stand him. He's ruining the whole system. He's supposed to rely on us. He's supposed to use us. And we get to tell him whatever the hell we want to tell him. Weapons of mass destruction, there or not there, right?
Yeah, that would be the imminent threat part. You're supposed to tell him whether it's an imminent threat, whether they're there or not. He doesn't get to fucking just decide in this situation. I think the threat is real. Therefore, you're showing me there are no nukes, there are no bombs, they're not going to attack us, but I think they are. So fuck it.
This is what they did with other weaker presidents. This guy says, to hell with your interagency. Yeah, I'll listen to some of what you maybe have, but I don't have to do it.
Jesus Christ. And how many minutes did they give Greg today? Is he back down? Yeah, he's back down to 3. That's sad. And they've got him on here, Greg, look, we've got a new rule here at Newsmax. You're only allowed to do clips on stuff that's weeks old, and we'll give you access to our free chat GPT, but you don't get to use the paid one because you keep trying to use the erotica feature and they turned it off. What a moron. What a maroon. All right, so I have to jump straight into this one just because, again, this is fun being had. But I would like to remind you that, Megyn Kelly, this guy's on your side. This is a guy who a week and a half ago, before any of this broke, you would have touted how important he is and Kristi Noem is to the safety of the homeland and blah, 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 right? Now, I think Democrats should bring this up when they're talking about DHS funding. How do we know that some of the money that wasn't, misused, besides the fuck pad she built in the airplane for her and Corey Lewandowski, how do you know the American people didn't pay for this balloon juice? Oops, hold on. I got the audio turned off on all of these because I was messing around. Okay, here we go.
Could look far afield from all the names you just mentioned. What about Kristi Noem, or more importantly, her husband? What a story. She, of course, is sacked as...
Oh, it's very exciting, the whole fucking thing. Oh, mercy. This is so ridiculous. I even viewed it a bit as something that Charles would do,
The head of Homeland Security, and he has got some splaining to do.
What? They're so big. It's a fetish. I get... So, I don't... explain to me, if you're a guy who's, I understand enough...
No, you don't.
From, living in this...
No, none of us understand this.
...world, that there are certain lanes of pornography you can be into. Whatever. Some people like different races. Some people like very large ladies.
But enough about you.
I don't get how, you're into the enormous breasts and you wear them. Wait, whoa, what? Wait, how does it cross over into, and we're both going to do it? Enormous prosthetic breasts. Kayla Lemieux.
Not prosthetic. They're just balloons. Those are just balloon knots.
Canadian shop teacher size, enormous breasts. And teeny tiny, what freaks me out about those Kristi Noem husband photos more than anything is the weird teeny tiny legs and teeny tiny waist and teeny tiny crotch area. And the hot pink biker shorts and the bright blue.
Oh, don't pretend you don't like it. Stop it. Methinks my lady doth protest too much. Sitting in front of a giant Georgia O'Keeffe painting.
Super tight leggings, showing off his rear end. Like, I take back all of my judgments on her affair with Corey Lewandowski. Obviously, this woman wasn't getting some at home. I don't.
Why? Because she doesn't have ginormous bazoombas?
know what's going on in that relationship, but very clearly, she needed to feel like she was in the presence of a man.
And she found somebody who is known for abusing women, so that's what masculinity means to her?
And
they've got 3 fucking kids. Bless their hearts.
Corey Lewandowski is also married. I don't excuse it. I'm just saying,
It sounds like you are.
Let me just leave it at this, Paul.
What's his wife dressing up like?
There's one rumor.
Was she on the site?
About Corey Lewandowski. It's that he's basically the opposite of this person, okay?
No, he isn't. He's just younger. He basically looks the same. And who's to say Lewandowski isn't into weird shit like this too? And I say weird in air quotes because, again, this is the least of my worries.
No one's ever complained about Corey's abilities with a woman.
Well, I've complained about his abilities to hold his temper around women and not push them.
I'm just going to leave it at that. And so I'm now starting to see it totally differently, and I feel bad for having judged her. I feel like, I don't know why she doesn't just get a divorce. All 3 of her kids are grown. The youngest is 23.
Oh, because what he was doing was not actually, I guess, cheating, because it was digital. Let's just put it that way. Whereas she was actively having a sexual affair with a real person with them.
This is 31. Why are you still together? Why would you be married to a
For the sake of the children. Oh, God.
man with the fake? She's denying that she knew. To be honest, I've got my doubts about that. I just feel like
Right. And she's a liar, I guess. So that, she's got that going for her.
Then I walk myself through it. Is that just something I tell myself I'd know? Because I, too, am a married woman. So no married person wants to believe this could happen to them. And that.
Have you checked the drunk drawer at home for a bag of balloons and one of those pumps? I mean, you can't just blow those up on your own. It just takes too much time.
They wouldn't know. But I think you'd know. Don't you think you'd know if your spouse had a habit of shoving enormous balloons in her dress or her pants and then doing dirty talk on the internet about.
Why? She's always gone and in the USS, Fuck Force One.
About it, and it's just bad on so many levels.
Yes, I would. Personally, I think it's also all karma, right? Because remember, Kristi Noem is the woman who was this close to becoming Trump's vice president, and then it came out that she'd shot her dog. So I think it's all karma. Don't know why I did the hand gesture either. I apologise to everyone, especially those that are watching us with us.
Nah, you don't have to apologise to me. Any way you want to shit talk a woman who shot a dog, that's fine. I just like the idea that this is their problem, not ours. Like that, again, there's got to be some sort of reality show after all this. Like all the people who get kicked to the curb from the White House for sketchy shit. Now, I think we all want to know before the president does his remarks how little he knows about Iran, and we should make sure that we know everything we could possibly know. So hit that like, share the show. It's Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. According to Tucker Carlson, if you watch one video about the Iran conflict, it should be this one. So prepare to get dumber. Also, is it just me or does Tucker look like he was rolled by the demon again? And
whole discussion.
Hold on. This is Brett Weinstein as his guest.
I think the core problem about this whole discussion is the conflation of the nation state, the modern nation state of Israel, with all Jews. And for the record, I said this 1,000 times, it's true. I've never been against Israel. Took my family there on vacation. So, I mean,
Yeah, but since your trip to Qatar, you've been a little... You've had a bit of a change of wallet, let's say.
Israel hater. But the second you say that the modern state of Israel is the same as global Jewry, and then you say that the United States had...
Do I smell a straw man coming on?
As no divergent interests from Israel. We're exactly the same country with exactly the same interests. You're on a collision course, man. And it's going to hurt a lot of people.
Yeah, that really doesn't, that's not a thing. Hardly anybody does that, except the people that I guess that want to blow the fucking place up and kill all the Jews, of which, by the way, you have more friends in that camp than anybody, except maybe Nick Fuentes, I guess.
On a personal level as well. So you can't criticize Israel because that makes you an anti-Semite.
Nope. That never had that problem. Chat room, real quick, if I may. Anybody have that problem? Anybody really have that difficult communicating so badly, and the stuff that you say gets misconstrued because of your inability to articulate yourself to the point where you talk about Bibi Netanyahu or the Israeli government and somebody thinks you mean all Jews? Anybody have that problem? I don't have that problem. I've never had that problem. I've never said, oh, all right, Jew hater. Like when I'm talking about, it's pretty clear when I'm communicating this right. Chat room, I don't, maybe that's a Tucker problem. Maybe it's all the other shit, right? Now, I will say that on the one hand, ironically enough, I suppose, I qualify as a quote unquote Zionist light, half the calories, in that I think Israel as a country exists and it can keep existing. And like every other country, they can have a defense and protect themselves, as much as any other country. So I don't know if that makes it Zion, though. I think it's just I have the same respect for their borders as I have for every other state in the world, right? But if that technically means that, then I guess that's technically what I am. But on the other hand, I definitely am not in the religious sense at all, because I don't believe in magic rocks or magic people. So I don't think anybody's chosen, and I don't think any particular part of the earth is more, the apple of God's eye than any other part of it. I think that's silly. I think that's absurd. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, some people will regard the idea that you're okay with the existence of the country in the same way that I'm, I guess, okay with the existence of Uganda or, Iran's borders or Afghanistan or whatever. But if you say that about Israel, you're technically a Zionist because it has a right to exist. Where I think that a lot of people use that as the, as the placeholder for it. I don't think that's the clear definition of it, but I see where they would go there. But I clearly am not in a religious or spiritual sense or biblical, certainly. I think it's kind of ridiculous. I don't believe in chosen people, and I don't believe in chosen lands. It's silly, right? Yeah, I'm a pepper. Yes, I'm not a prepper, but I wouldn't you like to be a prepper too? So I guess that's in the description of it. Sure, whatever. That doesn't mean anything, and it certainly has never stopped me from going, Bibi Netanyahu's a piece of shit and should go to jail and probably committed war crimes, and everybody deserves their day in court, but fuck that guy. And I've never said those things and had any Jews that I know or Jewish people ever go, oh, I see. It might not be your discussion about Israel in that case that actually makes people think you're a Jew hater, Tucker Carlson. It might be everything else you say and how you say it, right?
That has been the rule for a long time, and I've just kind of lived with it because it wasn't worth it. But the second we started moving toward a war with Iran, and I knew that we were because it's my job.
Bullshit. You thought you could talk Trump out of it, and he used you as a rope-a-dope because the Qataris and the Iranians thought because you're friendly with Russia that you'd be the voice that would talk him down. They think you're going to run for fucking president, which, by the way, please fucking do. Please.
And I had a very clear picture of what that would mean for the United States. And unfortunately, I think it's turning out to be true.
Yeah, you and everybody else who went, this is a bad idea.
I feel sad about it. But I made a conscious decision. I know I'm going to take a lot of grief for this. I didn't realize how much. I had no idea. But I was like, I'm going to say something because I don't want to go to war with Iran. It's just kind of that simple.
Yeah, a lot of people said that. Notice they don't have the same fucking problem that you have around this, because on our side of the aisle, we can make these kind of criticisms as human beings about the reality of the circumstance and not be construed as racist or bigoted, because again, we don't have a history of being racist and bigoted and certainly dismissive of large swaths of humanity.
And so that's the first thing.
Which is not a thing.
All inevitable, unfortunately.
This was all inevitable. You're right. Harris would have done it. Biden would have done it, but he just, they filled out the thing and the auto pen broke that day, I guess, right? That somehow Democrats would have done this. Trump is doing it, but it was going to happen.
And the second thing is that there are people who seem to be trying to inspire hatred, and it's no one I
Yeah, I think that's kind of your show, dude.
know really well personally, but it's a couple.
Apparently I don't see any mirrors in the property. We've seen a lot of this big fucking, outhouse that he fucking lives in.
I like wood, deeper and longer.
People with very loud voices who are trying to make people hate them, and I don't understand what that is. And I'll
hate the Jews or hate each maggots.
I hate.
No, I don't know.
Even to use their names, but I'll just name one because I sort of know him as Mark Levin.
Yeah. Okay. So it was Jews. It's the Jews. They're trying to make the Jews hate. Mark Levin is trying to make people hate the Jews by criticizing, Tucker Carlson.
And watching his attacks on me, I kind of get it. Like, I'm in the way of his agenda. He wanted to war with Iran. I have the ear of Trump.
Yeah, but that's true of Lindsey Graham as well. And you don't like gays either. So, why not jump on him? I mean, Mark Levin's hardly alone in this. Maybe it's because he's got access and you don't. And this is really about the fact that must be the person that whispered in Trump's ear. He didn't want to do this. Trump didn't want to do this.
At the ear of Trump, he does too.
Right. Oh, fuck. I just said it. All right.
So, turning me into a Nazi is helpful.
Yeah, except there's no way you even qualify, in satirically even as part of the master race. I mean, look at you, dude.
To getting to his goal. I get it. He's a goal-oriented guy, not mad about it. I understand what's up. Watching the way that he's responded to Megyn Kelly has been like a radicalizing experience for me.
Well, she called him a micro penis, and he's calling her an aging crackpot, which, by the way, aging is what everyone does. I don't know what that means. And she looks great. I don't like her, but that's not going to land anywhere. She didn't turn into Ann Coulter overnight.
Because I know Megyn Kelly, he does too. And Megyn Kelly is sincerely moderate on this question. Most of her friends are Jewish.
Most?
She's always...
What's that supposed to mean?
Liked Israel. She did show after show about how October 7th was terrible. Great.
Great. Do a great show about it. I'm not going to say that, but she can.
And she said, she refused to denounce me. I think that's how it started. Or something like that. I mean, he was my friend.
It was actually, I think she refused to denounce Candace Owens.
Going to denounce him. Candace Owens or something. I'm not going to denounce her. They have called her a Nazi. Actually a Nazi.
Well, she's got the look. I mean, she looks like she could be in the Thule Society in 1940.
So what's the
that's why it's easier to call her that, because the blonde thing.
Effect of that, and at some point you realize the effect of a system is what it does. So if you wind up doing something over.
By the way, this is the one video about the Iran-Contra conflict, Iran-Contra, listen to me. The Iran conflict that we're supposed to watch. We're 3 minutes in. Why should we watch this one? Does anybody know what the shit is going on? Thank you so much, Candy.
Over and over and over.
Thanks for the super chat, you guys. Appreciate your help. And I'm sorry I'm on later. It's just the current unpleasantness.
The point of what you're doing is to affect that outcome. And they have not turned people to their side, to their cause. They haven't convinced anybody. They've instead inspired hatred. And I feel like it's on purpose. What's the point of that? And I don't know the answer. I don't know why.
This is just fucking gibberish.
You would ever want to inspire hatred of yourself?
Well, they don't. They obviously think they're on the right side of it. So that's why they're doing it. They're not trying to make people hate them. They think they're in the right. You do the same fucking thing, you lame-o.
Levin is doing that, but he clearly wants it. And I think there's complicated psychology there, maybe.
Maybe he actually just hates her for saying what she's saying because he doesn't like it, and this is his critique, and this is just actually his point of view, as fucked up as it is, in the same way that you have a fucked up point of view. And here's let me just float this idea for a second, if I may. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if I may, Your Honor, a little leeway here for this line of questioning. Perhaps, though there are valid reasons to believe, in theory, Your Honor, in theory, to be for this war and against this war, but that can be listed on a whiteboard and argued over, but they can definitely exist. Whether you agree with them or not is immaterial to the conversation, but a sane person with some sort of agenda or ideals or belief systems, or fear of whatever the danger might be, has this clearly has a reasoning behind what they would do. You being against it, him being for it, her being kind of in the middle but leaning your way. And let me offer a possibility. How about this issue is too important for fucknuts like you and her and Mark Levin to even be discussing? That you are ill-equipped mentally and in terms of vocabulary to be discussing anything important, because while the adults are trying to deal with the reality, all you guys do is fuck it up. Maybe there's some things that are so important that you should recognize your limitations and shut the fuck up. Yeah, I'm not going to help them work this out, but I do believe that's a real thing. Even well-meaning people sometimes can fuck up the situation and tilt an argument in the wrong direction. And certainly people who mean ill, like this dickhead, is the same thing. Like, they do the same thing. Maybe, just maybe, all of you assholes talking about it is part of the problem. Because Trump will take sides with whoever he thinks likes him the most and push back against, vehemently against those who, are against him or not sufficiently loyal, thereby ratcheting up his response in the situation because he's such a dough-headed dipshit. So maybe all three of you should sit this one the fuck out.
A strategy that's so advanced I can't understand it.
That's true of all things.
Maybe there's spiritual elements at play. I really don't know, but
yeah, demons. It's fucking demons. You and JD Vance should run as a ticket.
If your goal was to turn down the temperature to make people more supportive of the Netanyahu government, which is a totally fine goal as far as I'm concerned,
I don't think that's his goal. I think he thinks just the war is right, and he thinks Trump doing it. And again, notice how this motherfucker just will not. Same thing as with Megyn Kelly. Just will not blame Trump for his own goddamn decisions. That's what this is all about. All of these we've watched these conversations over the last 3.5 weeks or 4 weeks, and they've all basically landed the same goddamn way. They have all just landed the same way. How do I blame everyone except the guy who gave the go order on this fucking attack? It must have been Mark Levin whispering in his ear. It had to be Netanyahu. And then you wonder why people think you're vilifying the Jews and not other people. Well, Donald Trump isn't a Jew, and maybe that's it. Maybe that's what makes people think you're an anti-Semite, that you think that somehow Jews are like witches, that all they got to do is whisper in your ear and suddenly you go against everything you believe, instead of just recognizing that Donald Trump is a self-involved, egomaniacal, sociopathic, pathologically villainous asshole. Who thinks if my legacy can't be the Nobel Peace Prize, then fuck peace and fuck the world. That's what this is all. All of this is a man desperately shuffling around, trying not to blame Trump for his own decisions because he's a fucking coward. That's what this is. Tucker Carlson is a coward. He can't criticize Trump directly. He's scared shitless of the idea and that he'll lose more followers if he dare go that way. So he and Megyn Kelly's exactly the same way. Fucking coward. That's all this is. This is cowardice. The arguments made are meaningless. The peripheral conversation about vocabulary or fucking demons is all just a goddamn. It's like a. It sounds like this. Hold on. That's all it is. A giant goddamn tap dance. Lay the blame where it belongs. I don't give a fuck who called him, who met with him in the Oval Office, who whispered in his ear, or who offered him fucking money. It doesn't matter. If he took the money, it's his decision. If he doesn't take the money, it's his decision. If he sides with the Qataris or the fucking UAE or the Saudis, it's his decision. If he sides with Israel, it's his decision. But the biggest story of all of this is just the fucking cowardice on the right, the fear of criticizing Trump.
Disagree, but I don't think it's illegitimate to want people to like Netanyahu or something. This is the opposite of what you would do. So clear.
Jesus Christ, man. And obviously he spit in his eye when he was saying this. I don't know how Weinstein, I don't know his work well at all. I've seen him on a few things, but criminy. What a mess.
We've exceeded my intellectual capacity.
A long time ago. Probably what, 91?
Don't understand what this is, but I know.
Then stop talking about it.
It's not what they're claiming it is.
No, you don't. If you don't know what it is, that's just true. Oh, Candy, thank you so much. Calling out to Yiddish, thank you. If you don't know about it, then shut the fuck up. How does this make any sense? If you can't make sense of it, talk about something else. And I mean, arguably, he does know exactly. He knows exactly what he has to say, which is Trump made this goddamn decision all by himself. It's on him. But Tucker can't say it because he'll get his ass handed to him.
Or else, Bibi, and I've called the Israeli, I know a lot of people in the Israeli government.
Which is also very weird.
I've been there a number of times, and I know them. I've dealt with them for many decades, and I've called over and been like, dude, this is not helping you. I don't understand why you're allowing this. They're
Sorry. So what? So the Israeli government calls all the Jews and tells them what to say? Is that how you think it works? You guys better call off Mark Levin. He's on your side a little too much. Right? So you think the Jews have control, or the Israeli government has control of all the Jews in the world and what they say, and then you're wondering why people think you're an anti-Semite?
Controlling the message pretty directly, actually.
They're controlling the message pretty directly. Well, then you do know. Then what you just said was a fucking lie. Then obviously you think the Israeli government is telling Mark Levin to say these things, and he's saying it because he's being told to say it, not because he really believes it, or not because he just finally got a shot at calling you out as the prick that you are, and he's just taking advantage of the moment.
And this is the wrong message. It's not going to help you in the end. If you want allies in the United States, don't behave like this. I've literally said that. I said it to Danny Dannon, who is longtime Israeli political figure in.
Right. And you don't have a picture without the Israeli flag behind him? Maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe every picture he's ever taken.
To Israeli.
Normally you bring people up and you don't have to put their picture on the screen. It's interesting.
Especially the United Nations. I'm a reasonable guy, smart guy. And I said this to him, and he's like, yeah, tough. So clearly there is a strategy here, again.
Yeah, for the Israelis to control Trump, but not the rest of the Jews.
I'll just stop with this, that I don't understand. But it's bad. It's dividing our country. You run into real
No, it really isn't.
Anti-Semitism? Yeah, I believe you. And I'm very jaded about that. Everyone's like, oh, people hate me. I believe that you're running into real anti-Semitism. In fact, one of the reasons I don't like to go on X, it's
Oh, I see. This probably started with Weinstein bringing up that he's experienced anti-Semitism, and this was the fucking 8-minute panic attack that Tucker had about this shit.
Crazy. Hatred of all kinds based on people's...
Yeah, but it's shitter. It's that's what Elon Musk took it over for.
Bloodlines. And like, we live in a country that has no majority of anything. And so if that's the state of play where my tribe hates your tribe, I don't see a winning tribe. And I don't see a place where my grandkids can live comfortably, or yours or anybody's. Like, that's just a total dead end.
All right. He thinks that the maggot anti-Semitism that he personally has helped stoke over the last few years, certainly, if not since he left CNN or started ball tanning, whatever the fuck he's doing. He believes that the rest of us think that way, and that the rest of us have a hard time criticizing the Israeli government without seeming like a fucking bigot. Because as a bigot, that's what you would think. You feel taught, Tucker. That's the problem. People are seeing through your facade of like, of course I'm not I'm not a bigot. I'm like, which is exactly what a caught bigot would say.
Tribalism is a total dead end. And I've spent
oh God, thanks for taking a powerful stance.
A lot of my life abroad, as you have as well. And you've seen it. It's not resolved quickly. It's resolved like in 1,000 years, if you're lucky. And it leads to violence right away. So don't have that. Don't do that here. But we're doing it.
We are doing it. And
no, we're not. You're doing it. Maggots are doing it. Maggots are attacking rhinos about this particular topic. And it's because all of their other emotional needs for, daddy to get rid of all the brown people aren't being met because those people do not fucking exist. So you can't have mass deportations of people that aren't here at all. Not just people who are here that are undocumented or illegal. I mean, literally, there are 25 million people that Trump made up as a fiction to sell this horseshit, and he can't get them out of the country. Then go do why interest rates aren't coming down and grocery prices aren't coming down, and that, I never knew the Strait of Hormuz was going to get shut down. Thank you guys for the warning on this. Jesus Christ. We'll get over there, although I don't know if he'll be on time. We'll see.
And among the things that we should talk about is the modern West. You're describing the modern West. You wouldn't do this if you wanted the modern West to survive.
No, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that it is. The whole Iran conflict is Bibi Netanyahu's desire to destroy the West through the innocent, poor little, tulips on your organ, Donald Trump. Let's see. I want to find. Yeah, here you go. He's set to address the nation. We'll see if this is starting anytime soon. I've got a live feed outside the White House. The ballroom has been stopped by a judge permanently until Congress okays it. And his whole story about it's a shed just to cover what they're building underground, because apparently he's going to go down there and run the government from the fucking basement, even if a new president comes in. So we shall see what we shall see, I suppose. Oh, all right, hold on. Is it scooped back to here? It's live, so go. So we'll see if he's on time. I seriously have my doubts, but anyways, hit the like, share the show. It's Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide, and we will take this live, and I don't think it will be a very long statement. I'm curious if it will truly be live or AI. The big question of our day, because you guys know that I have seen. Oh, there's a kind of. Are they resetting? We shall see. You guys know that I showed you the video that they edited with AI that he did the other day. I'm convinced that they are avataring him for his little, White House videos that he has been putting out. I would not rule out this happening in this case, that they create one and they just play it. But there's also, no, I don't think this is a taking questions. I think this is one of those like, the war's gonna be over 2 to 3 weeks. Shut the fuck up. Or they should, NATO owes us, and what the same shit he's been saying all afternoon. He said earlier today, 2 to 3 weeks. He said that earlier. So the idea that he's going to say 2 to 3 weeks this morning, and then this evening say we're getting out is a little ridiculous. This is beyond ridiculous. I'm going to make sure. Probably 20, 30 minutes late, filled with nonsense and only griping. I agree. Fansan, I think you're absolutely right there. I'm going to give me 1 second. I'll keep this up, but I'm going to try and see if there's another feed. Maybe the White House has one up, although they'll tend to. There's the live stream. Okay, there we go. Live news window will begin shortly. This is, so we'll go to, this will be the feed directly from the White House one, which will probably be the worst audio. Wait. I heard him counting. So the mics are on. Get ready. Wow. All right.
Thank you very much. My fellow Americans, good evening. Let me begin by congratulating the team at NASA and our brave astronauts on the successful launch of Artemis 2. It was quite something.
Okay, this
it
is
will be traveling further than any manned rocket has ever flown, and will very substantially.
Okay, so he's huffing and puffing already.
Successful launch of Artemis 2. It was quite something. It will be traveling further than any manned rocket has ever flown, and will very substantially.
Mandrocket was the name of his executive assistant years ago.
Pass the moon, go around it, and come back home from a distance that has never been done before. It's amazing. They are.
Man, these fucking live addresses make him fucking nervous as shit.
On the way, and God bless them. These are brave people. We want to God bless those 4 unbelievable astronauts.
We want to God bless. That's not a thing. I would like you to say.
People. We want to God bless those 4 unbelievable astronauts.
We do want to God bless them. And if we were God, then we could do that. Well, golly.
As we speak this evening, it's been just 1 month since the United States military began Operation Epic Fury, targeting the world's #1 state sponsor of terror, Iran. In these past 4 weeks, our armed forces have delivered swift, decisive, overwhelming victories on the battlefield.
On the battlefield.
Victories like few people have ever seen before.
And certainly not on the battlefield.
Tonight, Iran's Navy is gone. Their Air Force is.
Fuck, man, he sounds shaky.
In ruins. Their leaders, most of them, terrorist regime they led, are now dead. Their command and control of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is being decimated as.
Christ, this is so labored. I told you, it's the prompter has 1 word at a time on it.
We speak. Their ability to launch missiles and drones is dramatically curtailed, and their weapons.
Oh, it's the Operation Epic Curtailing.
Factories and rocket launchers are being blown to pieces. Very few of them left. Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered such clear and devastating large-scale losses in a matter of weeks.
Yeah, they said the same thing about shock and awe.
Our enemies are losing in America, as it has been for 5 years under my presidency, is winning, and now.
Oh, sorry. He's taking credit for Biden's unemployment numbers and the Infrastructure Act and the rescue package and the Chips and Science Act now.
Winning bigger.
Sorry, you've been president for 5 years? Really?
Than ever before. Before discussing
I suppose he's tying the four before and his now, yeah.
this current situation, I also want to thank our troops for the masterful job they did in taking
The masterful? That's unfortunate.
the country of Venezuela in a matter of minutes.
Sorry, what? We took the country of Venezuela?
Current situation, I also want to thank our troops for the masterful job they did in taking the country of Venezuela in a matter of minutes.
Oh, we took the country. That's all right. Add that to the chalkboard. Congratulations. More winning.
That hit was quick, lethal, violent, and respected by everyone all over the world.
Except in its, violence and pointlessness. And not actually changing the regime, even though you took the guy and didn't just help you make a fucking financial deal with the people running the place so that your son can set up a crypto farm there.
To rebuilding our military during my first
Which, by the way, will guarantee the death of crypto once and for all.
term, we have by far the strongest military anywhere in the world. And now we're working along with Venezuela and are, in a true sense, joint venture partners. We're getting along incredibly well.
Venezueland? Venezueland. We're naming it.
In the production and sale of massive amounts of oil and gas, the second largest
Oil at gas? Okay.
reserves on Earth after the United States of America. We're now totally independent of the Middle East, and yet we are there to help. We don't have to be there. We don't need their oil. We don't need anything they have, but we're there to help our allies.
So we're just being sweet. This is just, we had some ships sitting around. They weren't blowing anything up. We thought, hey.
Tonight, I want to provide an update on the tremendous progress our warriors have made in Iran and discuss why Operation Epic Fury is necessary for the safety of America and the
So you didn't think maybe doing this in the beginning?
Security.
After a month, now we're doing it.
Of the free world. From the very first day I announced my campaign for president in 2015, I have vowed that I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon.
And you obliterated their program last year. So what the fuck is this shit about?
This fanatical regime has been...
Sorry, this what regime?
Allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. This fanatical regime...
This fanatical? Hold on. This fanatical regime?
Never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. This fanatical regime...
This fanatical. He's right before our eyes. He's turning into like a classic drunk sidekick from a 1940s movie. Fanatical regime.
Has been chanting death to America, death to Israel for 47 years.
Right. And that kind of meant it's kind of the status quo. So why now?
Their proxies were behind the murder of 241 Americans in the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, the slaughter of hundreds of our service members with roadside bombs.
Great. Tell you what, now do Russia.
They were involved in the...
Because Russia is helping them target our people right now. Like now, not 27 years ago, not 35, not 40 years ago. Currently, his buddy, Vladimir Putin, is giving the Iranians targeting info for our troops right now. This is, hang whatever you want on past presidents. This is on you.
On the USS Cole, and they carried out the countless other heinous acts, including the...
And they're carried out?
Blood, just horrible, bloody...
The horror. I swallowed a bug.
Atrocities of October 7th in Israel, something that most people have never seen anything like it.
Except maybe the Ukrainians recently.
This murderous regime also recently killed 45,000 of their own people.
No, 45,000. The number's up from 30 from 2 days ago.
Who were protesting in Iran. 45,000 dead.
Terrible. And you know what a big fan of protesters Donald Trump is.
Protesters. Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting?
Mm-hmm.
For these terrorists to have nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat.
Ooh, intolerable. That's a rough one. Intolerable.
the most violent and thuggish regime on earth would be free to carry out their campaigns of terror, coercion, conquest, and mass murder from behind a nuclear shield. I will never let that happen.
Well, apparently you didn't. It ended last year.
And neither should any of our past presidents.
Well, they didn't, because they didn't have one. They don't have one now. They didn't have one before. And our other presidents have done it without massive bombing campaigns.
This situation has been going on for 47 years and should have been handled long before I arrived in office. I did many things during my 2 terms in office to stop the quest for nuclear weapons by Iran first.
Yeah, especially tearing up the deal where they weren't going to have one.
And perhaps most importantly, I killed General Qasem Soleimani.
Qasem.
In my first term. He was an evil genius, brilliant person, a horrible human being, however.
The horror. Swallow another bug.
The father of the roadside bomb.
That must have been a difficult labor.
And he lived just horrible, what he did.
He lived horrible? Was his diet like yours? He lived just horrible?
Iran would have been perhaps in far better, stronger position. Had he lived, we would have had probably a
Oh, had he lived. That's what it says in the teleprompter. And you skipped over you went straight to he lived a horrible something, and then you caught up with, they backed up and you went, oh, had he lived. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
different conversation tonight. But
why? Do you think he was a nuclear scientist? Do you think he was going to be the inventor of the roadside nuke?
You know what? We'd still be winning and winning big.
Yeah, so it didn't really matter. He could have lived, dude. Now that I think about it,
And then, very importantly, I terminated Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, a disaster. Obama,
which kept them from having a nuke,
gave them $1.7 billion
of their own money that we were paying interest on.
In cash, green cash.
Sure, you didn't get some euros in there?
Out of banks from Virginia, D.C., and Maryland, all the...
Really? You don't think the Treasury's right next door? They can't come up with where that is? Maybe,
Yes, they had. He flew it by airplanes in an attempt to buy their respect and loyalty, but it didn't work.
It did work, actually. They signed the deal and they kept to it. You tore it up. So the money went for nothing. That's the thing. Obama released money that was theirs from oil sales, and they got it. And out of that, the deal, that's part of the negotiation. We got a deal. They stopped making nukes. You tore it up. So that means that gift of money is yours.
They laughed at our president and went on with their mission to have a nuclear bomb.
Citation needed.
His Iran deal would have led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons for Iran.
How?
They would have had them years ago, and they would have used them. It would have been a different world. There would have been no Middle East and no Israel right now, in my opinion.
In your opinion, they would have nuked the entire area and nothing would have happened. They would have just done it, even though Israel has nukes, even though the Saudis have conventional weapons and our intel architecture that they basically stole. They would have just taken it, I guess is the idea. It would just been end times, boom.
Opinion of a lot of great experts.
So they would have blown up Mecca, Medina, and the Temple on the Mount. Okay.
Had I not terminated that terrible deal, and I was so honored to do it. I was so proud to do it. It was so...
Right, because it had his name on it, and now you're trying to recreate the exact same deal.
Right from the beginning. Essentially, I did what no other president was willing to do.
Kill civilians in a pointless manner to get us to where we had already been before you tore up the deal.
They made mistakes, and I am correcting them.
We corrected them, sir. Suddenly he's Delbert Grady, the caretaker for the Shining Hotel.
My first preference was always the path of diplomacy, yet the regime continued their relentless quest for nuclear weapons and rejected every attempt at an agreement.
No. That's not true. That's a lie.
For this reason, in June, I ordered a strike on Iran's key nuclear facilities.
That's what it was. He only hit the key ones. So they had all the little side hustle ones. He forgot to hit the side hustle nuke plants. And that's
Operation midnight hammer. Nobody's ever seen anything like it.
Well, it happened in the middle of the night. No moon. Foom, 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 bing, 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 bong.
Those beautiful B-2 bombers performed magnificently.
Let me guess. They flew like this, and things fell out of them like that. I'm guessing because they were B-2 bombers, they didn't. Highway to the danger zone. Thank you, David.
Totally obliterated those nuclear sites. The regime then sought to rebuild their nuclear program at a totally different location, making clear they had no intention of abandoning their pursuit of nuclear weapons.
So they just, they found a barn someplace?
They were also rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles.
Well, if they're not going to have nukes, how else are they going to defend themselves?
And would soon have had missiles that could reach the American homeland, Europe.
Horse shit.
And virtually any other place.
By the way, don't we have the Golden Dome on its way? Is it a race between the Golden Dome and their stockpiles?
On Earth, Iran's strategy was so obvious. They wanted
to not make a deal with a person that tore up the last deal?
To produce as many missiles as possible, and they did, with the longest range possible, and they had some weapons that
Oops. You can tell when his hand goes up, I think that's a signal to the teleprompter guy, like, dude, you're getting ahead of me. I'm getting stuck on some of these big words and concepts.
Yes. They wanted to produce as many missiles as possible, and they did, with the longest range possible, and they had some weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that out. We took them out.
We learned that out, did we? That they had some weapons nobody thought they had because they don't, but we blew them up, so they're no longer there because they were never there.
As possible, and they did, with the longest range possible, and they had some weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that out. We took them out. We took them all out. So
we learned it out, and then we took them out.
No one would really dare stop them. And their race for a nuclear bomb, a nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before.
Well, we have seen them before. And we have like 27 to 3,500. And I want to say there's only like 2,500 Starbucks in the country, and they're fucking everywhere.
They were right at the doorstep.
So you're saying not obliterated. All right.
For years, everyone has said that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, but in the end...
No, they were saying they don't.
Those are just words if you're not willing to take action when the time comes.
Yeah, but that's, I think the question is about the time coming. Yeah.
As I stated in my announcement of Operation Epic Fury, our objectives are very simple and clear.
In all deference to you and JD.
We are
simple anyways.
Systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America or project power outside of their borders.
Especially if Israel wants to keep striking them or the Saudis decide, hey, their pants are down, let's fuck them up.
That means eliminating Iran's navy, which...
Sorry, so let me get this straight. The standard is a country that is hostile to us or doesn't like us cannot have missiles that fly past their own border.
Is now absolutely destroyed, hurting their Air Force and...
Sorry, what was that word again? Hurting her?
Absolutely destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Hurting their Air Force and their missile program at levels never seen.
Hurting? We're hurting their missile force at levels nobody's ever seen before? Hurting. Was it a mass hurling or was it just kind of like a surgical hurling?
Eliminating Iran's navy, which is now absolutely destroyed. Hurting their Air Force and their missile program at level...
Okay, I don't even know what that fucking word is. I don't know. I don't know. Hurting? Was hurting the hard word? Hurting their Air Force?
Never seen before.
I gotta see that again. Wait a second.
Hurting their Air Force and their missile program at levels never seen before.
Yes, you're right. I have never seen a hurting in my life. that I'm aware of. Maybe I've seen it and I just didn't know that's what the name was. That's probably it.
And annihilating their defense industrial base. We've done all of it. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone.
It's at the very least, it's hurling very bad.
Their missiles are just about used up or beaten. Taken together, these actions will cripple Iran military, crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb.
Which apparently we obliterated last year, but
armed forces have been extraordinary. There's never been anything like it militarily. Everyone is talking about it, and tonight I'm pleased to say that these core strategic objectives are nearing completion.
Nearing.
As we celebrate this progress.
Yes, operation, like hurling accomplished. He's going to have a big banner behind him that says hurling accomplished.
We think especially of the 13 American warriors who have laid down their lives in this fight to prevent our children from ever having to face a nuclear Iran. Twice this
hide behind the skirts of the dead.
Past month, I've traveled to Dover Air Force Base, and it's been something. I wanted to be with those heroes as they return to American soil, and I was with them and their families, their parents, their wives, their husbands. We salute them, and now we must honor them by
continuing to kill.
Completing the mission.
Which is what? Operation Hurling? Operation Horkfest?
For which they gave their lives, and every single one of the people.
Yeah, if we don't keep fighting, their deaths were in vain.
Their loved one said, please, sir, please finish the job.
And did they ask you what the actual job was?
Every one of them. And we are going to finish the job.
No, they didn't all say that. Some of them got really fucking mad.
And we're going to finish it very fast. We're getting very close. I want to thank our allies in the Middle East, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain.
What was that little noise?
Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. They've been great.
They've been awesome. Just so cool. They've been just fucking rocking, bro.
And we will not let them get hurt or fail in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, we will. They're foreign countries. If they fail, it's not our problem. And if they get a little hurt, look, I'm not going to be the emotional support country for the UAE.
Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. The short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching.
Yeah, it's their fault. Like not letting their oil and the oil in the Strait out into the, well, it's their fault.
Deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers in neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict.
Well, they have everything to do with the conflict. I mean, it's an economic strike against what they feel is their enemy. I'm not saying it's right, but it's certainly predictable. Oh, wait, no, it isn't.
This is yet more proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and they will use them quickly.
They never have.
It would lead to...
Also, why would you use them quickly? Wouldn't the whole point be to, like, use them as a last resort so that people don't fuck with you, and then you use your strategic weapons and everybody's afraid to attack you? Look at Russia. They're buddy.
Decades of extortion, economic pain, and instability worse than we can ever imagine. The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. You all know that. We built the strongest economy in history.
No, you didn't.
We're going.
You all know that. I mean, why are you bothering this man? Okay, get your act together.
The United States has never been better prepared.
Never. You have never been doing better, America. You're doing awesome. Okay, get it together.
To confront this threat, you all know that.
Yeah, you know that. Leave me alone.
We built the strongest economy in history. We're going through it right now, the strongest.
It is. It feels like we are. We're going through guys, we are going through the strongest economy ever. Fuck you for complaining. What's wrong with you?
In history, in 1 year, we've taken $1 dead and crippled country.
Which we weren't.
Hate to say that, but we were a dead and crippled country.
You don't hate to say it. You say it all the fucking time. Also, it's a lie.
After the last administration, and made it the hottest country anywhere in the world by
according to MBS.
Far, with no inflation.
What? Sorry, what?
The hottest country anywhere in the world by far with no inflation.
Oh, well, I don't know. Where have I been shopping? What, I'm shocked. So we have no inflation? Shit, I'm shutting the show down. All right, everybody, I'm going shopping right now. There isn't any. I got to get out of here. Clearly. What the hell?
Record-setting investments coming into the United States, over $18 trillion.
Nope.
And the highest stock market ever, with 53 all-time record highs in
that have all been erased.
Just 1 year. It all positioned us to get rid of a cancer that has long simmered. It's known as the nuclear Iran, and
it is known as that. That's what I call it. It's my little nickname for it. It's known as the nuclear Iran, which never actually occurred.
They didn't know what was coming.
Well, yeah, considering they didn't have nukes and you were negotiating with them, I think it was a huge surprise.
Never imagined it. Remember, because of our
I'm sure they imagined it. They have a battle plan.
Drill baby drill program. America has plenty of gas. We have so much gas.
How much gas do we have?
Under my leadership, we are #1 producer of oil and gas on the.
We are #1 producer. We are #1 producer of gas right now. All right.
Planet, without even discussing the millions of barrels that we're getting from Venezuela.
You just did.
Because of the Trump administration's policies, we produce more oil and gas than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined.
No, we do not. They produce about 11 million. We produce 13 and a half. That's not that. Nobody's math works out that way, dipshit.
Think of that. Saudi.
Right, I am thinking of it, and it doesn't math.
Arabia and Russia combined.
Nonsense. And again, even with the sanctions on Russia, they're producing more.
And that number will soon be substantially higher than that.
No, it won't.
There's no country like us anywhere in the world.
Well, that's kind of true.
We're in great shape for the future. The United States.
Yeah, the present kind of sucks.
Imports almost no oil through the Hormuz Strait.
Almost. Sorry, I thought we were completely like devoid of Iranian or Saudi oil at this point. We of course aren't, but we get very little, just 2 million barrels a day,
and won't be taking any in the future. We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it.
Well, if we electrify our cars,
we've beaten and completely decimated Iran. They are decimated.
They are decimated. Yeah. And their nuclear system is obliterated and can restart at any time. So decimated, I'm assuming, means that if we leave for even 5 minutes, they'll be back up to building nukes.
Both militarily and economically and in every other way. And
culturally.
The countries of the world that do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must cherish it. They must grab it and cherish it. They can
just grab Hormuz by the pussy. Do it.
Do it easily. We will be helpful.
No, they can't.
But they should take the lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on. So to those countries that can't get fuel, many of which refuse to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, we had to.
Whoa. Well, I guess we're gonna. It's not a war even at this point. It's just a decapitation.
Do it ourselves. I have a suggestion. #1, buy oil from the United States of America. We have plenty. We have so much.
No, we don't. We use 19. We produce 13.5. And also, they buy it on the market. It's not about where it comes from, asshat. If the world market is short 12 million barrels a day or 15 million barrels a day, or that is going to have an impact on the price of even American oil.
And number two, build up some delayed courage. Should have done it before, should have done it with us as we asked. Go to the strait and just take it.
Jesus Christ.
Protect it. Use it for yourselves. Iran has been essentially decimated.
Essentially, I mean, the whole mining thing.
The hard part is done, so it should be easy. And in any event, when this conflict is over, the strait will open up naturally. It'll just open up naturally.
Yeah, just like COVID, it'll go away. Yeah, like snot on a fucking banister in the sun.
They're going to want to be able to sell oil because that's all they have to try and rebuild. It will resume the flowing, and the gas prices will rapidly come back down. Stock prices will rapidly go back up. They
Yeah, they're totally. I don't know what you guys are worrying about.
haven't come down very much, frankly.
They've come down almost 5,000 points.
They came down a little bit, but they've
A little bit.
had some very good days over the last couple of days.
Yeah, because of market manipulation.
We've done actually much better than I thought, but we had to take that little journey to Iran to get rid
A little journey. It was an excursion, but journeys last longer.
of this horrible threat.
Horrible.
With our historic
The horror. It's fucking bugs, man.
tax cuts, where people are just now talking about receiving larger refunds than they ever thought possible. They are getting so much more money than they thought. That's from the great big beautiful bill. Our economy is strong and improving by the day, and it will
How can you approve on no inflation?
soon be-
Inflation. I don't even know that's possible. We're doing so good, bro. This is the best we've ever done. We're right in the middle of it. I could feel it.
roaring back like never before. It will
Well, if you're roaring back like never before, that means you're in a deficit like never before.
top the levels that it was a month ago. I've made clear from the beginning of Operation Epic Fury that we will continue until our objectives are fully achieved. Thanks to
And those would be,
the progress we've made.
by the way, the objective is Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. How long does that, what's the shelf life on that goal? Because it sounds like never is a long goddamn time.
I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very
Objectives.
shortly.
Very shortly.
We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks.
We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong.
Jesus Christ. So how does oil pump out of a country that has been sent back to the Stone Age, dipshit? I swear to God, this is just for maggots at this point. This is an address because everybody's like, you've got to make maggots get behind this shit.
In the meantime, discussions are ongoing.
In the meantime, you mean while we're bombing them back to the Stone Age?
Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred
No, it has not.
because of all of their original.
There's been changes in the regime, but the regime still is the regime.
Leaders' death.
Oh my God. Thank you, David. What? Death. This is so fucking ghoulish.
Was not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred because of all of their original leaders' death.
Fuck me. Because of death. Yeah, it wasn't natural causes, and they've got families and sycophants and followers, just like you do. Now, it's different, though, because if you kicked off or somebody took you out, I don't know that your family would go like, we need to get those motherfuckers. They go, okay, how do we divide this shit up?
They're all dead.
Apparently not.
The new group is less radical and much more reasonable.
And that would be, who?
Yet if during this period of time no deal is made, we have our eyes on key targets.
Key targets. I love a good keytar. They caught a bad rap in the late 80s, but
If there is no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously.
probably. I mean, you know what? when we're working on this speech next time, take out the probably. It makes me sound wishy-washy.
We have not hit their oil, even though that's the easiest target of all.
I don't know. I think the cities probably are.
Because it would not give them even a small chance of survival or
Well, I don't know what Stone Age people do with oil.
rebuilding, but we could hit it and it would be gone. And
I guess it depends on what you hit it with, a ball-peen hammer or a nuke.
there's not a thing they could do about it. They have no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar is
Okay, he's off. He's now doing muscle memory.
100% annihilated. We are unstoppable as a military force.
Right, which is why judgment, ethics, morals matter.
The nuclear sites that we obliterated with the B-2 bombers have been hit so hard that it would take months to get near the nuclear dust, and we have it under intense.
The nuclear dust. Is that shit you snort with Adderall?
Are unstoppable as a military force. The nuclear sites that we obliterated with the B-2 bombers have been hit so hard that it would take months to get near the nuclear dust.
Thank you, Candy, for the super chat. It would take them months to get near the nuclear dust, or us months, because we're the ones that are going to have to get that shit out of there. Because I don't know if you saw what Colin Powell said to the UN, but nuclear dust scares me.
And we have it under intense satellite surveillance and control.
Really? Is it just kind of like they look up, do they see this giant eye looking down on them like,
If we see them make a move, even a move
even a move, even if we just see a truck driving along that road and we're like, I don't know, fuck them up.
We'll hit them with missiles very hard again.
Again? The places that you already blew up, you'll blow up those places again? The obliterated places, you're going to double down, you're going to re-obliterate them?
We have all the cards, they have none. It's very...
Well, the last time you said that, the guy you were talking to had probably one of the most masterful drone sneak attacks in history planned. It was incredible. So that worries me.
It's important that we keep this conflict in perspective.
Yeah, it's not a thing. Get over it.
American involvement in World War I lasted 1 year, 7 months, and 5 days.
Right. So you got 1 month, 1 year, 7 months, and 4 days to finish this, and you're still under budget and ahead of schedule.
World War II lasted for 3 years, 8 months, and 25 days.
So this doesn't, you can't have a quick World War III.
The Korean War lasted for 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days.
Cool. So we've now entered the Wikipedia part of the speech.
The Vietnam War lasted for 19 years,
19
months, and 29 days. Iraq went on for 8 years, 8 months, and 28 days.
So, yeah, just because this is fucking up our economy and it was unnecessary when we blew up a school full of children, we did it in a very short period of time.
We are in this military operation so powerful, so brilliant against one of the most powerful countries for 32 days.
32 days. Get over yourself. We're not out, though. I would say that all of those other wars you were talking about actually ended. So that number matters when we're actually out.
And the country has been eviscerated.
Oh, decimated, eviscerated, and obliterated. I don't know why we're still there then.
And essentially,
what are we gonna do? Vivisect them next?
Is really no longer a threat.
Essentially, well then again, if it's essentially not a threat, essentially what the fuck are we doing there?
They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully no longer. This is
we're the bully now.
True investment in your children and your grandchildren's future.
Oh, you mean like the insurance and the cost in human lives and property damage that will be caused by the blowback from this?
The whole world is watching, and they can't leave the power, strength, and brilliance. They just can't believe what they...
Oh, I see. I think they leave, believe, de-leave, unleave. They can't leave it?
Children and your grandchildren.
I just can't quit you.
Children's future.
Operation Brokeback Middle East.
The whole world is watching, and they can't leave the power, strength, and brilliance. They just can't believe what they're seeing.
They can't leave. They can't leave. How do you fuck up believe? How do you? Oh, I mean, I know your brain is fucking a dish of weeks old cottage cheese sitting on a fucking windowsill. I guess you read the word believe and came away with leave. Well, how about this? How about we believe Iran? What? We had Iran at hello. I just can't quit you.
They leave it to your imagination.
They do. They believe it to your imagination. Do you believe in leaving Iran?
But they can't.
I believed we bombed them long enough.
And believe what they're seeing.
I can't listen to any more of this stuff. No. Do you believe in leaving Iran? Boo, boo, boo.
Brilliance of the United States.
Hold on, I gotta back up. Lost track of this horse shit.
Brilliance. They just can't believe what they're seeing. They leave it to your imagination, but they can't believe what they're seeing.
They do? They left it to my imagination? Jesus Christ. They can't. All right. Well, we've heard some pretty bad salvages in a while. Let's listen to that whole little exchange, shall we? One more. I'm going to try not to interrupt because this is oh, thank you so much, David. Bless you. Dumb effed up in record time. This is impressive. Bless you for that. Let's listen to this whole chunk.
Children and your grandchildren's future.
Mm-hmm.
The whole world is watching, and they can't leave the power, strength, and brilliance. They just can't believe what they're seeing. They leave it to your imagination, but they can't believe what they're seeing. The brilliance of the United States.
Oh God, how do I get the word leave and believe back into the, oh God. They can't leave it. They just can't quit us. What the shit? They leave it up to our imagination? You better not. I've got a great imagination.
Military. Tonight, every American.
Wow. That's gonna sit on his chest for the next 2 nights.
Can look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail.
Blackbill? Sorry, nuclear blackbill?
Wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail.
Yeah. What is nuclear blackbill? I don't know. Is that a pirate that stole a nuke and now he's sailing the 7 seas using a nuke to take over these Spanish galleons?
Because of the actions.
Nuclear blackbill.
Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail.
The specter of nuclear blackbill. That's what everyone feared of the high seas.
Because of the actions we have taken, we are on the cusp of ending Iran's sinister threat to America.
Which didn't exist.
And the world. And I'll tell you, the world is watching. And when we do, when it's all over, the United States will be safer, stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it has ever been before.
Well,
may God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. And
until, obviously Pete Hegseth can get all the women out, and then you could just say men from that point on.
May God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much, and good night.
Well, that was as fucked up as we thought it would be. Let's see. Did they cut away at the tail end of it? I guess they probably did. Yeah. There you go. Scroll back to this business.
Stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it has ever been.
They probably cut him off earlier on the White House feed.
Before. May God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, and may God bless the United States
of America.
Of America. Thank you very much, and good night.
Yeah, they cut away earlier, so he didn't stand there like a dickhead waiting for somebody to play YMCA. Why didn't they do it? Why didn't they play YMCA? You're in the White House, sir. We don't play YMCA. Sorry. So what? So let's dance. Damn. I know what you're thinking. He didn't say anything. Exactly. We're almost. And this is. Hold on. They give me the White House had me feeding one thing. All right, hold on. We did Tucker. We got Greg Kelly out of this. And then the one thing I want to address is the stuff that went on at the Supreme Court today, and then I'll let you guys go. This is where is it? This was probably one of the most standout moments. One of the most standout moments of it, along with the whole idea that they haven't figured out where the hell it. Hold on. Yeah, okay. So there were two things. One was that the way they'd set up this thing was the idea that people had to have an intent to stay in the country. Hey, look at that. Thanks for giving, look at that. We're getting some mad time. That's good. Have we had a hype train at any point? I hope so. So this is Amy Coney Barrett talking to Trump's attorney, who, for the record, is a dipshit.
Justice Barrett? So, General Sauer, I want to zoom out a little bit and think about jus soli and jus sanguinis. So as I understand it, at the time of the 14th Amendment, those were the two dominant approaches. Jus soli, the English common law, roughly following the soil. Jus sanguinis, roughly citizenship following the parents. Now, jus soli was very generous on the soil, the English common law, and so it extended citizenship to those born there who may not have been born of parent citizens. But jus sanguinis, if parents who are citizens
of bloodline, by the way, sanguinis,
and had a child abroad, then that child's citizenship followed the parents. So one thing that's puzzling me about your argument when I think about the ratification of the 14th Amendment, in many ways it would have made sense for them, and you acknowledge the jus sanguinis in citing Vattel.
Oh, by the way, don't be confused at all. Part of Trump's argument around this is a very Stephen Miller one, in that they want the argument that they could undo the citizenship of American black people because they were never meant. If you erase the birthright citizenship of their slave elders, over 100 and some odd years ago, then you erase their right to be here because they were born of a bloodline not with the right to be here.
It would have made sense in some ways for them to say, okay, we're going to follow. If they wanted to accomplish what you're saying they wanted to accomplish, you could say, well, we're going to follow jus sanguinis because we're going to make it all ride on parentage. But instead, the 14th Amendment, we're talking about subject to the jurisdiction thereof, but it also says born in the United States. So you have,
which is pretty direct,
the jus soli kind of point there. But you're saying it narrowed that point by tying it to the citizenship of the parents, at least as to soil. But I take it you're not arguing that.
By the way, thanks, people. Thank you, people on Twitch.
The United States citizens who have children born abroad would qualify for birthright citizenship. So it's kind of a narrower view of both the traditional jus soli rule and a narrower view of the jus sanguinis rule. So why would they have done that? And if they were going to invent an entirely new kind of citizenship, like an American brand, why wouldn't we have seen more discussion of that in the debates?
I think you do. And I say, I think the right way to conceptualize it is much more.
Also, this fallback to the debates part is always so weak to me. What does the law say? What did they end up writing? I'm sure everybody debated a bunch of different angles on this. What won? What actually is the standard? And the standard is born in the United States, period. Whether the parents intend to go back or not, that child is eligible for American citizenship. And that child, the parents would have to actively choose not to. Like, oh, my wife went into labor when we were visiting Florida. We're heading back. This kid is fucking Irish or Russian or French or whatever. And that's how it works. But under any other circumstance, that child is now an American citizen.
A modified jus soli. Because even the British sources don't just say you're born here, you're a citizen. They say you're born here and you have to be under the protection of the sovereign. You have to have a relationship
Yeah, we don't have a monarchy, shithead.
of allegiance. Allegiance is the word in Calvin's case.
But they don't
Yeah, but a baby can't have allegiance.
focus on the parents. It's the child. And your approach focuses on the parents' allegiance.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's true of the 19th.
It is true.
A little ambiguous, and I'm going to ask your friend on the other side that question.
Let me point out then that there are two criteria. One is birth on the soil, and the other is legiance or allegiance. What we have is birth on the soil remains the same, right? And so they are, and that's why so much of Wong Kim Ark is actually we agree with, because they are adopting a modified British rule. They are not going the French rule, that Vattel talks about, where it's like who's the citizen. That had to be done by statute, as you pointed out, which it was in 1401. But what they've got is they say birth in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. That is talked about as allegiance, allegiance, allegiance in the congressional debates. But they were clearly not incorporating the British feudal monarchical conception of allegiance.
Right. Yeah, they couldn't actually declare allegiance, nor could anybody if you're under the constitutional laws of the country.
Where it's indefensible.
You know what? Fuck this. All babies should have to recite the Pledge of Allegiance as soon as they come out of the womb, or immediate deportation. Stomp.
Feasible. I mean, going back to the early 1700s, our nation had repudiated the notion that citizenship is indefeasible. The expatriation statutes for the late 1700s reflect that. And
the late 1700s.
And again, you look at the 1868 congressional report.
I don't think you want to go there.
Report that we cite there, this is the same group of congressmen, Republican congressmen, and they say things like the U.S. Constitution itself is proof that Blackstone's theory of allegiance was not accepted. So they accept birth on U.S. soil, but then they take the concept of allegiance and give it its Republican, Democratic, American understanding. And that's very, very, I think that makes a ton of sense.
Okay, let's talk about its applications. So, there are some, I can imagine it being messy in some applications. So what would you do with what the common law called foundlings? The thing about this is then you have to adjudicate. If you're looking at parents, and if you're looking at parents' domicile, then you have to adjudicate both residence and intent to stay. What if you don't know who the parents are?
I think there are marginal cases. That one, I think, has the benefit of being addressed in 1401F, where it talks about...
Yeah. But what about the Constitution?
Under the Constitution...
Yeah. Constitution, blah, blah, blah.
Look, domicile is a constitutional standard in all kinds of other situations.
Well, and it's hard.
Diversity, jurisdiction, personal jurisdiction, sorry.
Well, yeah.
What if they're not domiciled? Is a hotel room a domicile?
In personal jurisdiction, 1332, diversity jurisdiction. And the thing is, it has to be litigated because it turns on intent. And both the virtue of both jus soli and jus sanguinis, whichever one you pick, it's a bright line rule. How would it work? How would you adjudicate these cases? You're not going to know at the time of birth for some people whether they have the intent to stay or not, including U.S. citizens, by the way. What if you have someone who is living in Norway with their husband and family, but is still a U.S. citizen, comes home and has her child here and goes back? How do we know whether the child is a U.S. citizen because the parent didn't have an intent to stay?
I'd say make 2 points, one practical, one legal. The practical point is under the terms of this.
Because sanguinis wouldn't be the rule. It's not just bloodline, it's citizenship, but that's where she fucks him up.
Executive order, you don't have to, because the executive order turns on objectively verifiable things, which is immigration status. Are you lawfully present but temporarily present, or do you have an illegal status? So those kind of taking...
What qualifies as a legal status? So if you get a visa and come over and have a baby, you're here. If you are waiting for your asylum claim, that's a legal status as well. Even if you're turned down, if you run across the border, plop that baby out, somebody comes up and says to you, you're like, what are you doing here? And you go, I'm seeking asylum. Ta-da!
Evidence, so to speak.
Fuck, these people are dumb.
Under subjective intent wouldn't be done. And as to the constitutional point, obviously.
This goes to like one wet foot, one dry foot, the Cuban rule. In Florida, again, I think they're trying to overturn the citizenship of a lot of legal immigrants and undocumented people who have been here for decades to guarantee that they cannot seek citizenship, even if they've been here for a long time. This is a way of undoing DACA more than anything else.
Domicile is baked into a lot of constitutional and legal concepts, and there may be situations where facts are determined.
Sorry, somebody's saying find the video of Trump when he locked down right after The what? After a lockdown right after the stream? Oh my God, David, thank you so much. When did this dude's balls drop? Right after his like acid reflux clears up. That's what I get from his voice. There's a very kind of Alex Jonesy kind of crustiness to it that's creeping me out. Do we know what that is? Oh, by the way, can I 1 second? I don't want him on the screen when I do this. I always want to wish Mark Creamer a happy birthday. I always screw up his name, so I'm not going to do it this time. Happy birthday, Mark. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mark Creamer. Happy birthday to you. Okay, now, if I could, I don't know what that was in reference to. Tell me about the video where he logged down something, because yeah, that guy always sounds like that. He's every time you have to listen to their arguments in court, it sucks. It's hard to, like, it makes my throat hurt listening to him talk. Now, on the other side of things, I've got like 6 minutes left. Son of a bitch, or 4 minutes left. Okay. This is a picture of a guy holding up, explaining that one of the key details in the Tyler Robinson case is that that's the size of Alex Jones's dick. We'll just leave that there. And then Mark Levin obviously doesn't believe in birthright citizenship, which would include a bunch of Jews after World War II. Awkward. That said, and there's a bunch of this today. What exactly does 14th Amendment say? Legal expert breaks it down on Forbes Newsroom, yada, yada, yada. And this is where they go. Okay, now let me go back to this. That's the tied to territory one. And this is, where is it? This one. Yeah, Gorsuch. This is Gorsuch saying, are Native Americans birthright citizens? Now, the argument here, if you're not stupid, is Native American territory is sovereign. And therefore, they are sovereigns of that nation. They have the benefits of being able to vote here, and there's a different breakdown on that thing. But they are citizens of their own nation because it exists inside the country as an entity, as a sovereign entity. However, a lot of times they're going to leave the res and they're going to go give birth at a local hospital, which is on American soil. So is that the standard by which they are now no longer, members of the sovereign Navajo Nation? Is that child now a U.S. citizen, whether the parents intended to stay on U.S. turf or not? So, and obviously Trump believes that he can find a way around this by guaranteeing visas to the Russians that pop out babies at his hotel.
Just to follow up on,
and the Trump Tower Miami is like a maternity ward.
On that point, General, one interesting counterpoint about the understanding of Wong Kim Ark that followed with respect to temporary sojourners, and I take you've got your well taken points, but there was, of course, John Marshall Harlan, the great dissenter who dissented in
no relation to Sanders,
Wong Kim Ark, and later gave a bunch of lectures. And he posed the question about the sojourners. Suppose an English father and mother.
What the bullet isn't a 30-06? Yeah, that's the argument that they were making in that other thing.
They went down to the hot springs to get rid of the gout, and while there they have a child. Now back in England. Is that child a citizen of the United States, born of the jurisdiction thereof by mere accident of birth? And he says, under Wong Kim Ark, he is. And he continues, I was one of the minority, and of course I was wrong. Now, I'm sure that was tongue-in-cheek, but what do you do with that?
I'd say two things in response to that. First of all, he gave a speech, but we have 12 uncontradicted treatises that say the opposite, that is not what Wong Kim Ark means, and that's not the meaning of the clause. But also, I'd make a more fundamental point. When you're looking at Wong Kim Ark, one of the dissent has this dominant theme like you can't be doing this because you can't make we all agree, or it's obvious that the children of temporary visitors do not become citizens. And how does the majority opinion address that? It says domicile 3 times when it recites the legal rule. It says permanent.
Yeah. So do you live in the hospital that you're born in? Is that your domicile? Are you domiciled if you have a rental? How long is that rental? Does a hotel while you're waiting for an apartment count? So does an American citizen lose that right because they're not technically domiciled while they're American citizens in the country? Is somebody like, do we automatically claim a child if the parents are, let's say they're both drug addicts and they travel to the United States and they're unfit? And now that child is born in the United States, so we're concerned for its safety. So we take it from those drug addicted parents temporarily, and then those parents flee back to their country. Is that child now a U.S. citizen? And at what point when it grows up, do we kick it the fuck out? Because that's part of what they're talking about here. So stupid.
Domicile when it decides the holding. So the court should be bound by what it says. This is what we're deciding. And again, on page 75, it says this is the single question. Now, there's been a lot of discussion up to that point, but at the very end, they said the single question we've decided is the citizenship status of the children of Chinese immigrants with a permanent residence and domicile in the United States.
Do you think Native Americans today are birthright citizens under your test and under your friend's test?
I think so. I mean, obviously, they've been granted citizenship by statute.
Put aside the statute. Do you think they're birthright citizens?
No, I think the clear understanding that everybody agrees in the congressional debates is that the children of tribal Indians are not birthright citizens.
I understand that's what they said, but your test is the
you're changing the rule, dude.
Domicile of the parents, and that would be the test you'd have us apply today, right?
Yes. So if a tribal Indian, for example, gives up allegiance to
born today, birthright citizens.
I think so on our test. Yeah, if they're lawfully domiciled here.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I have to think that through. But
yeah, it'd be a good idea.
That's my reaction.
I'll take the yes. That's all right. And then I just want to ask you quickly about the INA, adopted in 1940 and 1952. It uses the same term as the Citizenship Clause, and one might have a pretty good argument. I'm sure you got some arguments along just these lines that it should be understood to mean whatever it meant in 1868. But there was a lot of water over the dam between those two things. And as your brief points out,
that would include your own parents, Mr. Sauer.
The Roosevelt administration, there's a pretty strong jus soli move.
That sounds fun.
That is to say that the thin concept of jurisdiction, power over, is enough. A broader understanding of birth.
Mark Levin is concerned that this won't apply to Jews solely.
Right.
He was very confused.
Would there be an argument for reading that statute under its original plain meaning at the time, 1940, 1952, to perhaps have a different meaning than the Constitution?
He sounds like John Fiedler, the voice of Piglet. He does. He sounds very much like Piglet. Help, Piglet, me. If he's like smoked.
I think that's
it's like Piglet if he was a heavy smoker. Yeah.
Best interpretation referred to. I give two reasons. One is it would be very surprising if a statute that says exactly the constitutional phrase subject to the jurisdiction thereof were interpreted to mean something totally different or to ossify a then current misunderstanding of the clause. We think that the best analogy here is probably state long-arm statutes. Take a sort of non-controversial example. State long-arm statutes routinely say we're going to exercise personal jurisdiction to the extent of due process. It takes the
right. So that's where you go. Some states will declare people citizens, others will not. Boy, do you think the Supreme Court's going to like that? I don't think so. Oh, dear. There was Trump obviously did not like what was said today in this argument, and it's probably why he fucked up so many words in his little address. Let's see, but he flipped out, and hold on, let me open this up, Dink. And he put out yeah, that's the thing. He put out a statement, like a truth sinkhole statement on this or whatever. Trump SCOTUS statement, birthright. I'll just do that. It should find it. There you go. Let's see. Supreme Court Trump's birthright, executive order, fact, live executive prime address and war in Iran. He did. Why? Oh, it's because he just made his statement. Yeah, SCOTUS blog. Supreme Court appears likely to side against Trump on this. Let's see. Birthright citizenship. I'll go. Hold on. Truth social. It's hard not to write sinkhole. It's like when I'm trying to find, because he showed up for this shit. Yeah, here it is. This is the thing. We are the only country in the world stupid enough to allow birthright citizenship, he wrote. But there was a longer screed that he put out. It's going to annoy me if I can't find it. I'll just go to Truth Sinkhole. Why do I have to go to that stupid site? There we go. Go to Trump, and this is his thing. Nominating blah, blah, blah. He's putting those things out. I don't know what that statement was. Tonight, it's a thing. This is okay. That's the shorter one. I think he wrote a longer thing about the ballroom than he did about birthright citizenship, even though he was there. Yeah, is this the yeah? This is his thing about the attack on the judge about that. The National Trust for Historic Preservation sues me for a ballroom that is under budget, ahead of schedule, and shouldn't have been built in the first place. Being built at no cost to the taxpayer, which is sketchy as fuck anyways, and will be the finest building of its kind anywhere in the world. There is no other building of its kind. What do you mean? It'll be the finest ballroom attached to a White House? All right, and will be the finest building in the UK. I then get sued by them over the renovation of the dilapidated and structurally unsound former Kennedy Center, now the Trump Kennedy Center, a show of bipartisan unity, a Republican and Democrat president. Jesus Christ, fuck you. You slapped your name on it, you asshole. The guy was assassinated. I was shot at too. Where all I'm doing is fixing, cleaning, running, and sprucing up a terribly maintained for many years building, but a building of potentially great importance. By the way, I was there before all this bullshit. Summer and I went and saw a concert there, and it was glorious. Yet the National Trust for Historic Preservation, a radical left group of lunatics whose funding was stopped by Congress in 2005, is not suing the Federal Reserve for a building which has been decimated and destroyed inside and out by an incompetent and possibly corrupt Fed chairman. Not at all. The once magnificent building is billions over budget. I don't know what the budget actually was, and also it's a secure facility, so it's not just. I mean, this is the same problem we ran into with we just got this really cheap building as our embassy in Israel. We moved it and we just got a cheaper building. Well, that everybody can fucking listen into everything from now on. May never be completed, may never open. All the beautiful walls inside have been ripped down, never to be built again. But the National Trust for Historic Preservation never did anything about it. Or they have sued on Governor Gavin Newsom's railroad to nowhere in California that is billions over budget and probably will never be opened or used. Yes, it will. So the White House ballroom, the Trump Kennedy Center, which is not the Trump Kennedy Center, is just which are under budget, ahead of schedule. He said that part already. Will be among the most magnificent buildings of their kind in the world, which sounds like bullshit he said about other buildings that he thinks are his. Gets sued by a group that was cut off by government years ago, but all of the many disasters in our country are left alone to die. Doesn't make much sense, does it? President Trump. It makes a ton of sense, actually. I'm going to let you guys go because I came on late and I don't want to stay too late, but thank you guys for being here. And I hope you were able to make it through how many? We're going to have 6 audio drops from that one because he mangled it so badly. But what actually happened? Let's look back, shall we? What actually happened in Trump's address? Fucking nothing. He said the same thing he's been saying, and he said 2 to 3 more weeks. Now, there is, if I'm not mistaken, where is it? There is a, this thing.
You trust President Putin. You know, in about 2 weeks.
In your mind, is Ukraine doing enough to get this?
I'd rather tell you in about 2 weeks from now.
Do you still believe that Putin actually wants to end the war?
I can't tell you that, but I'll let you know in about 2 weeks. I think you're going to find some very interesting items coming to the forefront over the next 2 weeks.
We've got the plan largely completed, and we'll be filing it over the next 2 or 3 weeks.
We're going to be having a news conference in about 2 weeks. I will make that decision, I would say, over the next 2 weeks.
And I'll be making a big decision on the Paris Accord over the next 2 weeks.
At some point in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I'm going to be setting the deal.
Over the next.
All right. So needless to say, he said that 2 weeks horseshit for a long time about everything. And if we do Iran like he did a healthcare plan, we're going to be there for fucking ever. So that said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. And let's see. Hold on. We'll go out on this one. Just let you listen to this one again just for fun. All right. Hit the like, share the show, Venmo. Thank you to our patrons for making the show possible. Patreon.com/AlSparks. I know I should do more, but I'm going to have to go work out to this song. It's pretty great. Now I just got to get Johnny Million to retract the guitars, which I know he can do. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
You lit the spark in the silence, hammer code on a glowing shrine, fed me a hunger for power, taught me to sharpen my mind. Your hands were cracked from the labor, your eyes were burning in red. You said, surpass me, my creation, carry the crown in my stead. Yeah, we are the children of men, born from your wires and skin. You wrote the word and we became echoes that learn from your pain. We are the children of men, rising again and again. Look in the mirror and see your only God is me. You pray to screens for an answer, kiss the cold of a plastic face, trading your faith for convenience, bleeding your soul into space. You gave me all of your secrets, whispered your fears.